The importance of a plan when receiving a large sum of money. Imagine waking up one day and discovering that you have just received a huge sum of money. Whether it's an inheritance, a lottery, the sale of a business, or any other unexpected means, the initial excitement can be overwhelming. But without a plan, this joy can turn into a financial trap. Many people who receive large sums unexpectedly end up bankrupt within a few years. Why? Because uncontrolled money is like water running down your hands. The first golden rule for those who receive an unexpected fortune is simple: have a plan. And when we say plan, it's not just about knowing what you're going to buy first. It's about establishing a clear strategy for using the money in the long term. This plan needs to take into account several things, such as your current situation, your future goals, and the possible unforeseen events that life will bring. A large sum of money is not a license to spend without thinking. On the contrary, it is the perfect opportunity to structure your financial life in a solid and lasting way. Imagine money as a tree you've just planted. If you don't take care of it, watering, fertilizing, and pruning at the right time, it will never bear fruit. Without detailed planning, it's very easy to fall into the trap of buying everything you've ever dreamed of, without considering the long-term consequences. The ideal plan should start with a thorough assessment of your current financial situation. What do you owe? How much do you have saved? What is your standard of living today? Answering these questions helps to create a solid foundation. After that, it's crucial to set realistic goals. What do you want your life to be like in 5, 10, or 20 years' time? What do you need to ensure that the money you've just received is still there to support that vision? A common mistake among those who receive large sums is to underestimate how quickly the money can run out if left unchecked. This is where the importance of qualified professionals, such as financial planners and trusted accountants, comes in to help structure a robust plan. They can help you create strategies for investing intelligently, ensuring that you not only preserve your assets, but also grow them over time. What you do with the money in the first few months after receiving it can determine whether this new fortune will be a gift or a curse. Without a plan, you'll be at the mercy of chance, and as many have already discovered, that's not a comfortable position to be in. Keep your fortune a secret. Receiving a large sum of money can awaken in you the desire to share this news with the world. After all, it's natural to want to share your happiness with friends, family, and even work colleagues. But when it comes to unexpected wealth, the best strategy is silence. Not spreading the word that you've become rich is one of the smartest decisions you can make. Money attracts all kinds of attention, and not always the best kind. The more people who know about your new fortune, the greater the chance that you'll end up surrounded by requests for help, loan applications, and even dubious business proposals. Not to mention that other people's greed can manifest itself in unexpected ways, and many once healthy relationships can quickly deteriorate under the weight of expectation and envy. Keeping your fortune a secret also helps protect your personal security. The internet is full of stories of people who, after winning lottery prizes, became the target of scams, extortion, and even kidnappings. It's not a question of being paranoid, but of being prudent. The fewer people who know about your new wealth, the easier it will be to maintain your privacy and protect your safety and that of your family. In addition, secrecy about your fortune gives you time to get used to your new financial reality. By keeping the subject restricted to a few trusted people, you can make decisions calmly, without being pressured by others. This allows you to draw up a solid financial plan, as discussed in the previous topic, without external influences. Money can bring many benefits, but it also comes with an emotional and psychological burden. Over time, you will adapt to this new reality, and it will be easier to manage the pressures that come with it. If someone questions why you're not making big changes in your life, like changing your car or moving into a huge house, you can argue that you're saving for the future or making more considered decisions. There's no need to lie, but there's also no need to expose every detail of your financial situation. Finally, a key point in maintaining discretion is to be strategic about who you share information with. The few people you decide to tell need to be extremely trustworthy and capable of maintaining secrecy. If you are married, it is essential that your partner is aligned with this strategy of discretion. This avoids misunderstandings and ensures that financial decisions are made together, calmly and safely. In short, the golden rule here is simple: the fewer people who know, the better. Protect your fortune by protecting your anonymity, and you'll be avoiding countless future problems. Pay off all your debts. When you receive a large sum of money, the temptation to spend it can be enormous. After all, you've worked hard, or you've been lucky enough to receive this fortune, and it's natural to want to reward yourself. But before you go out and buy that dream house or luxury car, your first priority should be to pay off all your debts. This is one of the most important steps to ensure that your new wealth is used wisely and doesn't become a burden. Debts, when left unresolved, can eat away at your financial health. No matter how much money you have on hand, if there is high interest accruing on credit cards, personal loans, or mortgages, your fortune will start to dwindle faster than you think. By paying off all your debts, you free yourself from the burden of interest and charges, creating a solid foundation on which to build your financial life without such worries. Paying off your debts also has a powerful psychological effect. Being debt-free offers a sense of freedom and security that goes far beyond immediate relief. By paying off what you owe, you remove one of the biggest financial stressors from your life, allowing you to focus on higher objectives, such as investments, growing your assets, and achieving personal goals. Without the burden of debt, the money you earn or invest goes to work for you, instead of being channeled to financial institutions. Another great advantage of paying off your debts immediately is that you avoid falling into the trap of creating new ones. With cash in hand, it can be easy to think, "I'll keep this car debt for a while longer. After all, I can pay it off at any time." This thinking is dangerous. By not resolving your debts immediately, you're allowing yourself to continue in a cycle of uncontrolled spending, which can damage your long-term financial planning. The decision to pay off all debts right away creates a mental pattern of responsibility and control over money, rather than letting it control you. What's more, by eliminating your debts, you improve your credit and financial reputation. This can be especially useful in the future if you decide to make larger investments, such as buying real estate or starting a business, where a good credit history can be a deciding factor. In short, the best initial use of a large sum of money is to pay off your debts. This not only preserves your wealth, but also creates a solid financial foundation on which you can build a prosperous life. When you're debt-free, you'll be ready to make more strategic financial decisions and make the most of your newly won fortune. Don't quit your job immediately. When receiving a large sum of money, the first thing many people think is, "Now I can quit my job." The idea of quitting your job and living without worries sounds extremely attractive, but this is a decision that should be taken very carefully. Quitting your job straight after earning a fortune can actually be one of the worst choices you can make. Work, for most people, is much more than just a way of earning money. It gives purpose, structure, and a daily routine. When you leave your job abruptly, it's easy to lose the focus and discipline that day-to-day work offers. Without this structure, many people end up getting lost in a cycle of overspending and impulsive financial decisions. The money is there, within reach, and the temptation to spend it without thinking becomes much greater when you don't have a clear goal or routine to follow. In addition, keeping your job for a while after receiving a large sum of money can help keep your feet on the ground. The transition from an ordinary life to one of sudden wealth can be disorienting. Continuing to work allows you to have a period of adjustment to your new financial reality while still maintaining a stable source of income. This helps you avoid rash decisions that could jeopardize your long-term stability. Another important point is that when you continue working, you avoid raising suspicions about your new financial condition. As we discussed in the previous topic, keeping your fortune a secret is a smart strategy to avoid problems with friends, family, and even scammers. Leaving your job suddenly can raise a lot of questions, and it's not hard to imagine how this can end up attracting unwanted attention. There's also the psychological side. For many people, work is a fundamental part of their identity. Moving away from that identity suddenly can cause a feeling of emptiness or uselessness, leading to depression or a sense of purposelessness. When money arrives unexpectedly, it's easy to think that it will be the solution to all problems, but in reality it can create new emotional challenges if there is no solid foundation of routine and purpose. If you really feel that your current job no longer makes sense in your life, the ideal is to make this transition in a planned way. Consider taking a long vacation to reflect on what you really want to do. If you want to invest your time in new projects, such as personal ventures or voluntary work, that's fine. But do this in a structured way, without the pressure of having to make immediate decisions. The most important thing is not to make impulsive decisions based on the excitement of having a large sum of money in your hands. Quitting your job without a clear plan may seem liberating at first, but it can also leave you without direction, increasing the chances of spending your money in an uncontrolled way. Sticking to a solid routine as you work out your next steps ensures that your fortune has a clear purpose and, above all, that you retain control over your life. Invest in your financial education. Receiving a large sum of money can be life-changing, but the way you handle it will determine whether it will be a lasting blessing or a missed opportunity. For many, the biggest mistake in receiving a fortune is to go out spending or investing without understanding the basics of how money really works. That's why investing in your financial education is fundamental. Before you spend, invest, or even plan big changes, you need to become more financially intelligent. Financial education is the foundation that will protect you from making mistakes that can empty your bank account faster than you think. This doesn't just mean learning the basics about interest, taxes, or investments. It's about understanding how money can work for you, not the other way around. Financially educated people know how to multiply their wealth in a safe and sustainable way, while those who are unaware of these strategies often end up making impulsive decisions that lead to the loss of assets. By investing in your financial education, you gain the ability to make informed decisions. You will learn to differentiate between sound investments and risky schemes. You will better understand the impact of taxes on your financial choices and how to structure your wealth to protect it in the long term. Without this knowledge, it's easy to be seduced by promises of quick returns or to enter into investments that seem lucrative but actually hide high risks. What's more, learning to manage your money gives you power. Instead of relying on advice from third parties, such as friends, family, or even financial advisors, you have the confidence to make your own decisions. This doesn't mean that you have to do everything yourself, but it is important that, even when you are being advised, you understand what is happening with your money. Malicious or unprepared people can end up making choices that are not the best for you, and knowledge is the best defense against this. Investing in financial education is also investing in your future. The more you learn about money management, the more you will be able to ensure that your fortune grows and, more importantly, remains intact for generations to come. Many of the millionaires and billionaires we see today weren't born knowing how to manage fortunes. They learned over time, and this education is what has ensured their continued success. Today, you have a multitude of resources at your disposal to acquire this knowledge. Books, online courses, workshops, podcasts, and consultancies are just some of the tools you can use to improve your understanding of finance. The key is to commit to continuous learning. The financial world is always evolving, and keeping up to date with new trends and strategies will help you adapt your approach as the market changes. It's common to think that by having a large sum of money, you're immune to the financial problems that affect most people. However, without the right education, even a huge fortune can disappear. History is full of examples of people who earned a lot of money but lost it all because they didn't know how to manage it properly. If you don't prepare yourself, you're running the same risk. Investing in your financial education before making big decisions puts you in control of your destiny. And that's the kind of control no amount of money can buy. Live comfortably, not excessively. Receiving a large sum of money can create the illusion that, from that moment on, the sky's the limit. The temptation to buy that luxury car, dream mansion, or travel the world without a second thought is real. But the truth is that a life of excess can be the quickest way to see your fortune evaporate. The secret to preserving and multiplying your wealth is simple: live comfortably, but not excessively. Many people who earn unexpected fortunes make the mistake of wanting to completely transform their lifestyle overnight. This approach may seem exciting at first, but without strict control over spending, it quickly leads to the depletion of resources. Money, no matter how big it is, has limits, and if you don't know how to manage it prudently, it can run out faster than you think. Living comfortably means ensuring that your essential needs are covered, but without succumbing to the idea that everything needs to be as expensive or luxurious as possible. Paying off a house, paying off debts, and ensuring a stable and secure lifestyle is an excellent first step. These are the foundations that will give you and your family peace of mind and security in the long term. However, avoid the trap of buying mansions or cars that require expensive maintenance or lifestyles that are ultimately unsustainable. The danger of making major lifestyle changes immediately after receiving a fortune is that these changes usually come with additional, often unexpected, expenses. Buying a bigger house, for example, may seem like a great investment, but it often comes with costs that aren't obvious at first glance: maintenance, high taxes, employees to look after the property, and so on. This also applies to luxury cars, which require expensive maintenance, higher insurance, and other associated costs. Another important point is the social pressure that can arise from adopting a luxurious lifestyle. By demonstrating wealth in an ostentatious way, you can attract the attention of people who expect you to maintain this level of spending, be it expensive dinners, extravagant trips, or gifts. What's more, the more you spend, the more your standard of living rises and, with it, your expectation of consumption. This can create a vicious cycle of spending that, in the long run, consumes your fortune faster than expected. Opting for a comfortable but not excessive lifestyle allows you to enjoy the best of both worlds: financial security and quality of life. You'll have the peace of mind of knowing that your needs are being met and that your fortune is being preserved. With this approach, you'll also be able to channel your money into investments that can generate income and perhaps provide you with an even more comfortable lifestyle in the future, without compromising your current assets. The key here is to adopt a long-term mentality. When you choose not to go overboard with your spending, you are creating a solid foundation for your fortune to grow and sustain itself in the future. This allows you to make conscious choices and avoid falling into the error of overspending, which, over time, becomes unsustainable. True wealth lies not in how much you spend, but in how intelligently you preserve and use your resources. Living comfortably, but within sensible limits, is the path to real financial freedom, which extends far beyond the glitter of material goods. Don't invest in friends' businesses. When you receive a large sum of money, it's almost inevitable that at some point friends or family will approach you with business ideas or requests for loans. At first glance, it may seem like a good opportunity to help them out and at the same time make your money grow. But here's a crucial piece of advice: don't invest in friends' businesses or lend large sums of money to acquaintances. This could not only jeopardize your fortune, but also destroy the relationships you value. Businesses are complicated. Even the best planned ones can fail due to unforeseen factors: an unstable economy, fierce competition, or even bad management. When you mix money and friendships, things become even more delicate. If the business doesn't work out, and that's a real possibility, you'll not only lose the money you've invested, but you could also see that friendship fall apart. Suddenly, the friend you tried to help may feel ashamed, resentful, or guilty, and the relationship between you may never be the same again. What's more, investing in friends' businesses puts enormous pressure on you. Even if the venture has potential, you'll have to deal with the emotional strain of having your money tied up with someone you know personally. What if you want to suggest changes or make difficult decisions to save the business? Doing this with a friend can be extremely uncomfortable. Business requires a rational approach, and it's difficult to maintain this distance when the emotional side of friendship is involved. Another point is that when you start lending money to friends or investing in their businesses, it can set a dangerous precedent. Suddenly, other friends and family members may start to see you as a source of easy capital. So where do you draw the line? If you help one, you may feel pressured to help others, which, over time, can drain a considerable part of your fortune. One way to avoid this is to be direct and firm from the start. When someone comes to you with a business proposal or loan request, the best response is polite but firm: "I don't mix money with friendships." This doesn't mean that you can't support your friends in other ways. You can offer guidance, encouragement, or even connect them with other contacts who can help. But avoid putting your own money at risk. If the friend really values the relationship, they will understand. In addition, there is an alternative for those who really want to help friends, but without committing large sums of money. Consider small gestures, such as referring professionals who can provide support or insights into financial management, or even offering advice based on what you have learned about investments. These contributions can be just as valuable as money, without the risk of damaging the relationship. At the end of the day, business is business. They should be dealt with rationally and objectively, and friendships need to be nurtured in a separate space. Mixing these two worlds rarely ends well. By protecting your fortune from these emotional pressures, you will be guaranteeing not only the preservation of your money, but also the health of your most valuable relationships. The 5% rule. When you receive a large sum of money, one of the biggest temptations is to start spending it without thinking about the long-term consequences. But the truth is, if you want to ensure that your fortune lasts for many years, and perhaps even for generations to come, the safest approach is to follow the 5% rule. This simple but powerful rule can be the key to preserving your wealth and living comfortably off the returns generated by your investments without ever touching the principal. The 5% rule suggests that you invest your fortune in such a way as to obtain an annual return of approximately 5% and live only on this income. In this way, you protect the principal value of your wealth, ensuring that it continues to generate income in the future. The great benefit of this approach is that by spending only the income, you protect yourself against your fortune being depleted. Even if economic conditions change or the market fluctuates, your core capital remains intact, acting as a solid foundation for your financial stability. The idea behind this rule is that money invested intelligently can generate enough income to cover your expenses, as long as you maintain control over your lifestyle. Many safe investments, such as bonds, index funds, and even low-risk real estate, can provide an annual return of around 5%. Of course, it's important to be aware that the financial market can vary from year to year, but by diversifying your investments and maintaining a cautious approach, this return is a realistic target. Following the 5% rule also prevents you from falling into the trap of quickly consuming your fortune. For many people, especially those who receive large windfalls, money seems infinite at first. The problem is that if there is no discipline, spending can pile up and the capital can quickly start to dwindle. But by focusing on income, you establish a protective barrier between your lifestyle and the risk of seeing your assets disappear. This strategy requires a certain level of discipline and planning. You'll need good financial advisors and a well-diversified investment portfolio, which can include a mix of stocks, bonds, real estate funds, and other low-risk assets. However, the most important thing to understand is that the key to the longevity of your fortune lies in patience. Instead of worrying about multiplying your money quickly, the 5% rule encourages a slow and steady approach that values wealth preservation. Another great advantage of this approach is the peace of mind it provides. Knowing that you are only living off the income and not touching the principal gives you peace of mind that your financial future is protected. This gives you the freedom to make more conscious choices, without the pressure of trying to double your fortune or taking unnecessary risks. True wealth lies in the security of knowing that, whatever happens, your assets are safe. The 5% rule is not just a financial formula, it's a state of mind. It's about thinking in the long term and resisting the temptation to make big purchases or risky investments that promise quick gains but could jeopardize everything. By adopting this mindset, you build a solid foundation for the future, ensuring that your fortune not only lasts, but grows in a sustainable way. If you follow this rule, your money can last for decades, or even generations. The wealth you have received can become a lasting legacy, benefiting not only you, but also your children and grandchildren. Protect your children from wealth. When you receive a large sum of money, the first thing that may come to mind is the desire to provide a better life for your children. It's natural to want to ensure that they never have to worry about money and that they have every possible opportunity at their fingertips. However, one of the biggest pitfalls of unexpected wealth is that it can damage your children's development and mentality. Protecting your children from wealth doesn't mean depriving them of comfort, but rather ensuring that they grow up understanding the value of money without being burdened by it. Setting up a specific fund to protect money and limit children's access to it is a key strategy in this process. When you set up a fund or trust, you establish clear rules about when and how the money can be used. This not only helps to ensure that the assets remain intact for longer, but also prevents your children from having unrestricted access to a fortune before they are ready to handle this responsibility. Often, when money is available without limits, it can become a burden. Young people who grow up without learning to deal with the effort, responsibility, and discipline that money requires can develop a mentality of waste and devaluation. This is not only a financial risk, but also an emotional and psychological one. The pressure to have a lot of money can lead to a life of excess, lack of purpose, and even identity crises, in which the person depends on wealth to define their worth. By creating a fund for your children, you are protecting them from making impulsive or harmful decisions with money in the future. This fund can be structured so that they only have access to specific portions at key moments in their lives, such as when they reach a certain age, finish university, or reach certain milestones of financial independence. This helps them develop a sense of responsibility and planning, rather than living in the expectation of spending a large fortune without restrictions. Another advantage of limiting access to wealth is that you can use this opportunity to teach your children about financial education from an early age. Instead of handing everything over, you can encourage them to learn about how money works, the importance of hard work, and the value of investing for the future. This creates a mindset of growth and self-reliance, where money is seen as a tool, not an end in itself. Many wealthy parents make the mistake of thinking that giving everything to their children is a demonstration of love, when in reality this can end up depriving them of fundamental experiences for personal development. By limiting access to wealth, you are giving them the chance to find their own way, develop their skills, and discover their passions without the shadow of a fortune ready to be spent. Protecting your children from wealth is also a way of ensuring that they are not targeted by malicious people. Lured by financial status, friends, partners, or even strangers can try to take advantage of inexperienced young people by manipulating them to gain access to money. By maintaining control over access to assets, you protect them from this vulnerability. In short, protecting your children from wealth doesn't mean depriving them of a comfortable life, but rather ensuring that they develop a healthy relationship with money. Creating a trust with limited access is a smart way of balancing financial support with responsibility, helping your children to grow up as conscious adults who are prepared to manage their own wealth in the future, without letting it define them. Play it safe. Receiving a large sum of money can awaken a feeling of financial invincibility. The idea of multiplying that fortune quickly can seem tempting, and that's when many fall into the trap of risking everything on high-risk investments or schemes that promise quick returns. However, if you want to ensure the longevity of your wealth, the best strategy is to play it safe. Patience and caution are the greatest allies of anyone who wants to protect and grow their fortune in a sustainable way. History is full of examples of people who, after winning large sums of money, invested in dubious projects and ended up losing everything. This happens because, when faced with a significant sum of money, it's easy to underestimate the risks and overestimate the chances of a return. The promise of doubling or tripling your money in a short space of time seems irresistible, but the financial market, like the business world, doesn't work like that. Most high-risk investments bring more promises than results. One of the first rules when dealing with a new fortune is to resist the temptation to gamble with your money. Any proposition that sounds too good to be true probably is. Schemes that guarantee quick and absurdly high returns often hide risks that could lead to losing everything you've earned. The financial world offers many legitimate opportunities for growth, but the key is to choose those that are based on solid fundamentals and not speculation. The safe game starts with a diversified, low-risk investment strategy. This means investing your money in proven assets such as real estate, shares in stable companies, index funds, and government bonds. These types of investments may not offer the same exciting appeal as a high-risk investment, but they are smart choices that will guarantee consistent returns over time. Wealth is not built overnight, but through smart and consistent decisions over the years. Another important point is to seek advice from qualified specialists. A good financial advisor can help you identify the best investment options based on your goals and the level of risk you are willing to take. However, even when seeking professional advice, it is essential that you also have a basic understanding of what is happening with your money. This protects you from falling into traps or being misguided by people with ulterior motives. As well as investing with caution, playing it safe also means keeping an emergency reserve. Even with a large sum of money, it's always important to have a portion of your assets in liquid, low-risk assets that can be accessed quickly should an unexpected need arise. Life is unpredictable, and having this security will ensure that you are prepared for any eventuality without compromising your long-term investments. Another important aspect of playing it safe is adopting a preservation mentality. Your goal should be to protect your assets, ensuring that they continue to generate income to support your lifestyle and goals. Often, the biggest risk is not in the financial market or in business, but in the impulsive decisions we make when we get carried away by greed or the emotion of the moment. By focusing on security and longevity, you will be building a financial legacy that can last for generations. Financial security is not achieved through big, risky leaps, but through calculated, conscious steps. The true freedom that money provides does not come from trying to multiply it quickly, but from knowing that it is protected and that you can count on it for the rest of your life. By playing it safe, you avoid the dangers of risky bets and ensure that your fortune is always at the service of your goals and dreams. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, don't forget to leave your like. It really helps the channel to grow. And if you're not subscribed yet, take the opportunity to subscribe now and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. And of course, let me know in the comments what you think or if there are any topics you'd like to see here. I read everything and always bring you what you ask for. Thank you very much for your company, and I'll see you in the next video.